Hello, welcome to Flourish ICT Academy. In this lesson today, I want to show you the skills you need to become a cybersecurity analyst in 2025. So let's take the journey together as we learn and see what steps you need to take in order to become a cybersecurity analyst. Whether you're a beginner, it does not matter. At the end of this lesson today, you will be able to know how to navigate yourself from where you are right now to become a cybersecurity analyst. Now, as a way of introduction, it's important for you to know that the demand for cybersecurity professional is at an all-time high in the world that we are in today. According to the UK National Cybersecurity Center, it warns that AI will likely intensify cyber attack in the next 2 years, particularly through the evolution of current tactics that we have today. And the cost of cyber crime is going to reach over $12 trillion globally by 2025. That's the report from Computer Crime Research Center. So that is why cybersecurity has become one of the most sought after skills by organizations today. Now, to become a cybersecurity analyst as a beginner, there are things you need to focus on. There are skills that you need to focus on acquiring in order to be able to fit in and to be able to be, one of the sought out after globally in the field of cybersecurity today. Not just one skill. So you need the combination of the following skill. You need a technical skill, and then we need a business skill, technical. Okay, we need a technical skill, you need a business skill, and then you need soft skills. So these are the three areas of skills that you need to acquire in order to become a cybersecurity analyst. So we are going to break each of them down. And I'd like you to watch this training to the end, because at the end of it, you are going to see the soft skill. Some of these skills, by adventure, you already even have them. So that is why I always tell people that anyone can actually penetrate into the field of cybersecurity if the desire is there. Because you might likely have the business skill right now. You might not have the technical skill, but there's something you have. Maybe you have the soft skill, you have the business skill. So let's take a look at all of these skills one after the other. We're going to look at the technical skills. What are the skills that you should have or you must have in order to break into the field of cybersecurity? The first one is networking fundamentals. When we talk about networking fundamental, you need to understand what we call TCP/IPs. These are network protocol. This talks about how communication happens on the internet. The DNS. You need to understand what we call dynamic host configuration protocol. That is DHCP. You need to have understanding about router, the switches, and firewall. Now, all of these skills are very important. That is what we refer to as networking fundamentals. So these skills will help you to be able to know how data travel, just like if you want to embark on a journey from one location to another. You are going to definitely board a flight. If you are going to travel across maybe a nation, across the state, if you are traveling within the state, there's one thing that you have to do. You have to board a bus, or you go ahead with train, or you go ahead with cab, whichever means of transportation. There's a need for you to move from one spot to another. The same thing happens when it comes to communication online on the network. There's a need for data to move from one system to another. So the movement of data from one location, for example, if you are sending an email from your system to the destination, that is the movement. Okay, from one point to another location, this movement, there's a lot of things that happen before between the source, okay, to the destination where it is going. So all of these things that happen, and then the means, of communicating on the network is what we refer to as networking fundamental. And they all happen with understanding of TCP, IP, DNS, DHCP. There's a need for router. When there's a need from one network to another, there's a need for switch, and there's a need for firewall for security on the network. So from the diagram you can see on the screen right now, you can see these are examples of the networking fundamental that we are talking about. And from the technical skill, apart from networking fundamental, another skill that you need to have understanding on is the operating system. You need to be familiar with Windows operating system like Windows 11, Windows 10. You need to be familiar with Linux operating system and then the Mac OS. All of these operating systems, they are important for you to succeed as a cybersecurity analyst. So you need a networking fundamental. Secondly, you need an operating system knowledge. And the third technical skill that you need is programming languages, especially Python. You need to know a basic of Python in order to actually be able, when we talk about cybersecurity, we have a lot of processes that need to be automated, that you don't need to do them manually. So the knowledge of programming will help you to be able to automate. So that is another skill that is needed. And apart from programming, the first skill, technical skill that you need is security frameworks and protocols. You need to understand what we call the NIST cybersecurity framework, ISO 27001, security protocol like SSL, TLS, and HTTPS, which is Hyper Terminal Protocol Security. You need to understand all of these protocols in order to be able to succeed as a cyber security analyst in the year 2025. The fifth, technical skill that you need is cloud security. You need to be familiar with cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud security, and the best practices. You need also the understanding of threat analysis and risk management. You need to understand the threat intelligence. You need to be able to look at the risk assessment in an office, setting up a network. What are the risk assessment? You need to know also how to mitigate some of the risk that you may observe. So this is called the threat analysis and risk management. And the last one, which is the number 7 technical skills that you need to know, is incident response and disaster recovery. How to respond to an incident when there is an incident in your workplace or your network with an employee, maybe has made a mistake and then click on a link, a phishing link, and there's a trouble. There's a way to respond to it. You need to know how to respond, and then how to recover, when there is a disaster, so that the business will not be down for a long period of time. How to get back quickly to the business. That is what we mean by incident response and disaster recovery. So these are the 7 critical skills, technical skills that you need to know or to have as a cybersecurity analyst. So, but if you don't have any of these skills currently, you really don't have a trouble at all. There is no problem about that. The other 2 categories of skills that you need, you may have any one of them, which is going to be a platform for you to be able to gain the technical skill. Now, let's move to the business skill, which is the next category of skills that you need to succeed or to break into the field of cybersecurity in 2025. When we talk about the business skill, the first one is communication. When I talk about communication, we're talking about ability to explain technical concept to non-technical stakeholder. If you are a security analyst, you need to be able to communicate your findings or what you intend to do to keep the organization secure to a non-technical stakeholder in a language that they can understand. So you need a communication skill. Maybe you already have that now. That is a plus for you. Then we also have a project management skill. You need to be familiar with project management methodologies like Agile and Waterfall. These are the 2 major project management skills that we have in the world today. So anytime you are going to come up with a project in the office that has to do with cybersecurity, you need to be able to follow any of these management methodologies in order to get the best out of the project that you want to do. And the third one under business skills is budgeting and cost management. So understanding of budgeting and cost management principles, they are very important, because definitely you are going to need a budget. It takes a lot of money, a lot of dollars, in order to have a secure environment, okay? In order to keep the bad actor out of your system, out of your environment, it involves money. And because you need to buy the hardware, you need to buy the equipment, you need to train people, all of this boils down to money. And in order to be able to do that, you need to have understanding of budgeting, and then the cost management, so that whatever budget your organization have, you are able to definitely make use of it in order to keep them secure. And the fourth business key is compliance and regulatory requirement. This is very important. When you talk about the compliance, we are talking about having the knowledge of relevant laws that govern your industry or the industry that you are going to be servicing. You need to understand the laws that govern those industry. You need to understand the regulation and the standard. You need understanding of all of that. For example, now we have what you call HIPAA law, which is HIPAA. That means Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. This is a United States of America Act that was actually, put into place some years ago. And the whole essence of the HIPAA privacy rule is to provide the federal protection for personal health information held by any entities concerning the patients in any hospital or any medical establishment like that. There is a law that governs the way you can dispose your patient's information. There is a law that governs how the patient's information should be kept. So if you are going to work, for example, in a net industry, you need to understand HIPAA Act. That is very vital. That is why I talk about knowledge of relevant laws and regulations. They are critical to your success as a cybersecurity analyst, not just a technical. If you have the technical know-how and you lack the business key, you are going to fail in the field of cybersecurity. Another one that we have as a laws and regulation is PCI DSS. That one is talking about the payment card industry, okay, and data security standard. That is a set of guidelines as well that establishes the minimum security standard for protecting payment card information. For example, the banking, the payment card industry, they have the laws and regulations they must abide to. So you need to understand all of those laws as well. And the last one under the relevant laws regulation that a cybersecurity analyst should know is GDPR. That is General Data Protection Regulation. This is an European Union General Data Protection Regulation. It governs how the data, the personal data of individual in any EU country can be processed and transferred. So you cannot just say because I have my data on your system, you can mismanage the data. You need the understanding of relevant laws and regulation. That is the business keys aspect of a cyber security, which is very critical. So that means even now you can start learning about all of this. You can go onto the internet and learn about HIPAA. You can go over there and learn about PCI DSS, the laws, the rules that govern those industries. Okay, because if you are going to work in any of this industry as a cybersecurity analyst, you need to have understanding of all the rules, the laws that govern this area. And then let's talk about the soft skill right now. We've talked about the technical skills. We've talked about the business skill. And the other one that you need to also have in order to break into the field of cybersecurity in 2025 is a soft skill. The soft skill, the first one among them is analytical thinking. Ability to analyze complex data and identify patterns. Okay? When you look at data, the event that has happened in the previous month, in the previous year, you are able to look at the complex data on your system and identify the pattern at which things has happened, either positively or negatively. That is very critical to succeed as a cybersecurity analyst. Next to that is problem solving. Skill in resolving complex technical problems. You must have that skill because there will always be a problem. When there is a problem, well, how are you going to solve that problem? And you must learn how to pay attention to detail. This cannot be overemphasized. You must be meticulous in identifying and mitigating security threats. That is very vital. You must pay attention to detail to be able to know when there is a phishing attack on the system, or when you have such issues like that, you are able to spot it quickly and respond to them. And next to that is time management. This is an ability to prioritize tasks and manage time effectively, because you will have a lot to do. You need to know how to manage your time, especially when there is an attack. you need to respond in time. If you don't respond in time, from one system, it can spread to the entire network. Okay, and from the entire network, it can go beyond what you can actually control or manage. And this can bring the network down and leads to loss of revenue for the organization. So time management is critical. And then you must learn how to collaborate and do a teamwork, because you must be willing, you must be someone that is ready or have the capacity or have the skill to work with other team members. You know, cybersecurity is not a feat in isolation. You can't succeed as a security analyst if you are isolating yourself. You don't know how to relate, because you are working as a cybersecurity analyst. You will need to work with other departments. You will need to work with HR. You will need to work with networking team. You will need to work with different departments in the organization. So this is where the subject of collaboration and teamwork comes on board as a very critical skill that you should have as a cybersecurity analyst. So we've looked at the technical skill, we look at the business skill, and then we have talked about the soft skill. Another important thing that you must get into in order to break into cybersecurity in 2025 is to have a real-world experience. Because if you learn all the stuff that we have talked about now, you have the technical skill, you have learned, you have the business skill, you have the soft skill, and you don't have the real-world experience, you can still not go far. How do you get into the real-world experience and get that skill? That number one there is internship. Participate in internships or co-ops program in order to gain hand-on experience. This is one of the steps that you must plan to take in 2025 and beyond. Don't shy away from opportunity. Don't shy away from internship that will help you to be able to build your skill level and to have a real-world experience. Be willing to volunteer, join online community, participate in bug bounty program, volunteer for non-profit organization to gain experience. All you are looking for at this point is experience before the dollars will start rolling in. Then personal project. Build a lab in your home. Engage in personal project. Develop personal project that demonstrate your cybersecurity skill. As you keep learning, begin to engage in practical section of what you are learning to build up a project portfolio. And if you have all of that, the next step you would like to take in 2025 is to go for certifications and training. Okay, one of the cybersecurity training that is very relevant and still relevant for beginner today is CompTIA Security Plus. It's a beginner level certification that cover all the cybersecurity fundamentals. So that will come after you have had training. Then you do certification. Okay, we are talking about certification and training right now. You don't jump into training. It is important before you go for, you don't jump into certification. It's important before you go for certification that you have had training, you have a formal training, you have started on real-world project, you have built up your skill, and then you go for certification. So in order, and then you need a CCNA. This one is going to help you in the area of networking. Remember, when we're talking about technical skill, the first one that we mentioned there is networking fundamental. That is why if you have a CCNA, which is Cisco Certified Network Associate, that is going to give you a baseline. It's going to give you a strong foundation when it comes to cyber security. The next, which I believe should be the first, is online courses and training program. You need to be trained. That is going to help you a lot. It's after the training that you go ahead and do certification exam to become a certified security analyst. And one of the places you can get yourself trained is Flourish ICT Academy. They have a robust training for cyber security analysts, especially beginners, and those who want to cross from other areas of skills. You want to move into cyber security. I would definitely recommend that you look out for Flourish ICT Academy and join their training program. You are going to learn a lot when you join them. One of the things we are going to learn is foundation of cyber security. You are going to learn about the security risk management. You are going to learn the network and network security. Remember, we have talked about the fundamental of networking. That is critical. It's part of the course. It's part of the courses that you are going to learn if you enroll or you join the Flourish ICT Academy cybersecurity training. They have introduction to SQL and Linux. You are going to learn about assets, threats, and then the vulnerabilities. The threats to assets and the vulnerability of those assets and how to protect them, how to detect and then respond to every vulnerability that has been detected. And then you are going to be introduced to Python in order to automate cybersecurity analysis. So these are all the modules that you are going to learn if you join Flourish ICT Academy Cybersecurity School. What are you waiting for? Get started now. To register for Cybersecurity Masterclass with Flourish ICT Academy, please visit the website that you have on the screen right away. If you do that, you are going to see all the details of what you are going to learn. And you can also check the description section of this video, or you can go ahead and drop a WhatsApp message or so for Flourish ICT Academy with the number that you can see on the screen. Remember, becoming a successful cybersecurity analyst, it takes time, it takes dedication, and it takes continuous learning. There is no shortcut to it. You have to be intentional, and you have to create the time to learn. You have to be dedicated, and then you have to be open for continuous learning. So focus on building a strong foundation in technical, business, and soft skills that we have discussed with Flourish ICT Academy, and then you stay up to date with industry development and best practices. Then you're on your way to become one of the sought after in the field of cyber security. So we look forward to see you on board. Thank you for taking your learning journey with me today. See you in the next video. Bye.